Welcome back to Plotlines. I'm your host, Connor, and today we're going to talk about some news. We're going to be talking about fiction. We're going to be talking about is sort of the cancel culture as well as censorship, and we're going to be talking about if there's going to be a way to beat back this kind of censorship. So, for anybody who hasn't heard in the news, there was a, a big sort of uh, crazy news last week that Roald Dahl's books were being edited by um, the publisher, which is called, I think, Puffin, which is kind of a weird name in my opinion, though I think it's part of Penguin Random House, if I'm not mistaken, and it is basically a children's yeah it's a children's publisher or under it's its own publishing wing under Penguin Random House. So this is kind of scary in my opinion if you're like me and want to read a lot of older fiction. So Penguin ran or sorry Roald Dahl's books, some of them are like Willy Wonka, or I think it's Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, uh, the BFG, and those types of stories. I think something in the Peach. Can't remember what is that. Either way, I wasn't read those books. I didn't read them when I was a kid. I haven't read them yet, though now I kind of want to read them because I want to know what they're censoring. I think most people want to know what people are censoring when they start censoring that. So, which, I think it led to a lot of people buying old copies of Roald Dahl's books in anticipation for this. So let's talk about just an interesting thing that the author said. Roald Dahl, 40 years ago, had a conversation with an artist, and he said, "I've warned my publishers if they later on so much as change a single comma in one of my books, they will never see another word from me, never ever." Now he's dead. He, of course, that we're not going to be seeing. They're not going to be seeing any words from him, so that kind of negates the whole situation. But the point is that Roald Dahl did not want the publisher to be changing any of his words whatsoever, and I think that's understandable. I don't think any author goes into something expecting people to be changing their work. So, if we're thinking of reasons to change authors' works, I think translations obviously are one. When you're translating into a different language, but you're trying to get the correct meaning, you're not trying to change the words in the sense of meaning. You're trying to change that this is, people can't read this language in that language, so we need to make that possible. And then another reason that you would change the language may be that the language that it was written in sort of no longer exists or isn't spoken anymore. So if you're dealing with something that was written in Anglo-Saxon, that language turned into modern English. So you'd need to translate it. Now, the English language has not changed dramatically in 40 years. It's just not. It's not different enough. There's no reason to change them. The only thing that's changed is people are extremely sensitive to really stupid things. Now, this was Ricky Gervais got into this, and he was making fun of the publishers trying to change things. Uh, he said he tweeted out, "This is me pondering whether they'll change any of the words I've used in my work after I'm dead to spare those who are fragile and easily offended." Now, nobody's going to be changing his work. Comedy routines aren't done by other people once they're once their comedian is dead. That doesn't really make any sense, and it shouldn't make sense. There's no reason. But he's getting to the point that we shouldn't be changing things because people are now easily offended. Now, I think fat is one of those is so they called Augustus Gloop is called fat, and it's changed to enormous, which I find a weird change. It seems unnecessary, though. They just don't want people to. They don't want kids to be calling other kids fat, which I think is ridiculous. I think we should be able to call each other fat. If we're fat, we're fat. It's not. There's nothing to change there. I don't. I obviously am not really pro bully. That's not what's going on here. What's going on here is that they're trying to change things in order to manipulate our language instead of the way language is usually influenced, which it's usually influenced by people using it, by people. So commonly, people will speak or write, and those words will then come into the common use, and then those meanings are then used by people in a common situation, and there you have it. That's basically how language is used, and sometimes it gains more meanings, sometimes it loses meanings, but mostly it retains meanings, but sometimes grows it in different situations. And that's the situation. So we have Shakespeare. He makes up new words. These words become useful. These words become effective, and people take them on. Now, people, nobody's going to get rid of the word fat because you need a way to describe somebody who is overweight, who is obese, and in sort of a quick manner, not in a technical term, but in a sort of uh, in a in a quick and decisive manner. That person is fat. Is it insulting to call someone fat? Maybe it's impolite. That might be the best way to describe it. Is the person fat though? If the person's fat, the only reason the person is insulted is because they know they're fat and they recognize it, but they don't want to be fat. They want to change themselves, or they want people to change the way they see them. It's ridiculous. They're fat. Get over it. Now, another thing was that the they made the Oompa Loompas gender neutral, which I don't really know what language they made it unless they just referred to them in plural as they or something. Uh, but the point is that suddenly now they're both. There's two ways to interpret this. It means they either made them both men and women, so they basically changed it, which I think is ridiculous because it's basically saying the Oompa Loompas are now both there's both males and females working at the chocolate factory. I that's just a change in that's just feminism into coming about. That's feminism being like, no, we can't say that only men are Oompa Loompas and only men work. Obviously Oompa Loompas have to come from somewhere, but the whole creativity, it's obvious that he wasn't necessarily going to refer to them as both male and female. The point was that these Oompa Loompas that we see, whether or not there are females somewhere, is that the ones we're seeing right now are male. Why would we need to say anything else? It's a ridiculous situation. Now, there was a lot of outcry about this. There was a lot of people complaining. Even the in Queen Camilla was shocked and dismayed by this change. So we have at least we have people in the British society with important roles, as well as some even left wing commentators being shocked and upset that the Roald Dahl is being changed. So this isn't just a part thing, though. Even people that are usually pro changing things or censoring old stuff, or get, basically, if you like something, you're going to you're going to be insulted or unhappy that something has changed. If you didn't like it, you're not going to care. Of course, you're not going to care. Now, I think we need to all care. We need to all say I really haven't read these books. I've seen some of the movies and some of the, adaptations based on it, which I enjoyed the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, the Willy Wonka stuff. So I assume they're pretty good, though they're kids' books. I don't really care that much about kids' books, but I know there will be kids, and I may have kids, and then I might care that there are kids' books, and I might want to share with them these books. I may not. I don't know. It really doesn't. That's not really the point of this. The point is we shouldn't be censoring things for no reason, except for the fact that these people just feel the need to coddle everyone else. And, so it's just ridiculous in my perspective. Now, I do think it's funny that Roald Dahl has quotes about the future of his work being edited. He also said, "When I am gone, if that happens, then, like, if things get edited when he's gone, when he's dead, then I'll wish mighty Thor knocks very hard on their heads with Mjolnir, or I will send along the enormous crocodile to gobble them up." It's very amusing, I would say. Uh, it's just disgusting. Yeah. Oh, they changed "we eat little so this is a line from the enormous crocodile. "We eat little boys and girls." And that's been changed to "we eat little children," because we can't say that there's a difference between boys and girls. We can't say boys and girls exist. We can't say male and female exist, and they're trying to implement a lot of that is just utterly ridiculous. And people are noticing, and people want change. So there was this outcry, and Puffin, the 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 publisher, decided that they've listened to everyone, that they are now going to release, or they're going to have Roald Dahl's books in classic form as well. So it looks like they're going to have the edited version and the non-edited version. It's ridiculous that it's called the classic version. Are you kidding me? Yeah. It's just ridiculous. Max in the chat. Hey, Mac. But yeah. So at least there's something that we've achieved, or you can see that cancel culture, insofar as being canceled for things that shouldn't be destroyed. See, cancel culture is when things are canceled when no there's no reason to cancel. There's there's no legitimate reason. They haven't done anything wrong, and then you want them gone because you don't like what they think. You just don't like them. You want them excised from society. Now there's a true form of censoring or getting rid of stuff that is bad, and that is not cancel culture. When you get rid of evil things, truly evil things, and this is obviously not evil, though I can't speak to, it's not like I can speak to all of his books because I haven't read it, but he's a children's author. His books have been around for a long time. Now, it's not cancel culture to say Hitler's bad, to say Hitler shouldn't have been the leader of Germany. That's not cancel culture. That's just common sense. That's just having a sense of morality. We need a sense of morality. Oh, Mac, yeah. No, we're not canceling, we're not canceling Avoiding Babylon. But yeah, so that's what's mainly going on. Now, if you guys like this, if you want to more of this, there's also some stuff going on with the creator of James Bond. So if you want me to cover that story as well and have these little live streams and so on that aren't too long, maybe we'll go for a few more minutes and that sort of thing. If you want me to continue with this type of videos, just let me know. I'm happy to do so, and it, it will give us some consistent content to have in between interviews and book reviews and TV reviews and movie reviews and that sort of thing. Because that's the focus. Oh, thanks, Mac. Smack the like button. Yes, yes, smack the like button. Now, does anybody have any questions? If you do, just uh, type them in the chat, and I'll get to them. So we'll get to that now. So I want to know what you guys think. Just do you guys care about Roald Dahl? Do you care that his work it was being censored and is still being censored, but also people are gonna have access to his original content? Like, is that a good thing? Is that a bad thing? I saw Brad Berzer on Twitter a couple yesterday or today. No, not today. Yesterday or the day before, tweeting about how he didn't really care. He doesn't care about Roald Dahl. Roald Dahl to him aren't good books. Uh, and he said he didn't care. And someone replied to him like, "Okay, so what's your plan if somebody goes after Tolkien? If somebody goes after you?" Well, he's like, and then he was like, "Yeah, okay, there you go. That if they go after Tolkien, there would be a big problem." I think that shows that there's a big problem anyways. There's a big problem now with all of this stuff. If I'm going to get a Roald Dahl book, I want to read what Roald Dahl has to say. Why would I want to know what these terrible publishers have to say? Publishers aren't in the business of creating work. They're in the job of, oh, publishing work. Oh, that's crazy. It's like the kind of business they are involves putting that together. Any suggestions for classic literature? Homeschooled 11-year-old boy to read. He's not a huge fan of protagonists that make bad decisions or are naughty. Interesting. Okay. I assume you've read or assume he's read Chronicles of Narnia. Has he read Chronicles of Narnia? Might be too young, I guess. I'm bad at uh telling age-wise. And is Lord of the Rings too old or too old for that? I can come up with that in the future. I'm not sure if I'm best equipped at the moment to come up with that. And maybe, I'll ask Joseph Pierce or something. He might be best to ask that question. Is this for Lewis? Yeah, I think it is. So Narnia is a bit long. Hmm. I'll have to think about that if Narnia is a bit long. I'm not as familiar with really short stories. Okay. Yeah, I'll keep this in mind. Maybe I'll do a series on it or a show on it. Maybe Darren probably will have good answers to that. So maybe I'll do a uh maybe I'll do some research. I'll ask some people to figure that out and we'll have a discussion And I know some homeschooling parents, so maybe they might have a good idea as well. So thank you, keeper of the domus. Is that I think that's pronounced correctly. I'll figure that one out, and we'll get back to that. So yeah, let me know if you want to hear about what's happening with the Ian Fleming. I think that's his name, the creator of James Bond. If you want to know. Dahl's unique phrases and descriptions are what added magic, humor, and whimsical feeling to stories. Altering the language completely destroys what makes Roald Dahl's work so great. True that. Yeah, that I mean that's the point. Now I do want to go out and sort of read a little bit of Roald Dahl's work, just to sort of get an understanding of why people are interested in Roald Dahl, like where like it's definitely like he definitely has some very a lot of creativity. I mean, given Charlie or Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory is such an interesting concept, and it's always that has always fascinated me after watching the movies. But of course, I haven't read the books. I should read the books. That's what a someone who talks about literature and wants people to read should do. Should read the books. There's a lot of there is tons for girls, but I didn't have brothers. Searching around, you pronounce awesome. Okay, yeah, I will put an episode together about that. It may be a live stream or something, but you know, keep your eyes out for that. And also, if you want sort of to never miss an episode of Plotlines, please join our Discord. The link is in the description. Join the Discord. It's free. There's nothing gonna keep you from doing it, and you'll have updates, and you'll be able to talk with me. I'm gonna be doing weekly, sort of weekly talks with a few guys in the Discord, and we're gonna have people be able to listen and engage and talk more. In this situation, we have people not necessarily asking, or we have people asking questions, but they're only in typing. They're only typing. They're not able to audibly discuss this situation with me. So I'd love for people to be able to get the chance to ask me questions and just kind of sit around and discuss different topics with me, and I think that'd be a lot of fun. So join the Discord. Also, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. It really helps. Also, commenting after the video is released really helps the algorithm. We want things to be shown. We're getting close to 750. That's pretty fun too. Yes, we'll be doing more book recommendation videos. My goal is to get a lot of sort of prominent people to do that. So, hopefully people like Tim Flanders, maybe Charles Coulomb, uh, people like that. We're gonna be seeing if they have book recommendations, whether it's fiction or nonfiction. Some of it I want to talk to people who are more interested in theology and stuff like that. I want to know what books they recommend and that sort of thing. So it's I want to know what people read so that they and know and how they know what they know. Because I don't think I don't think they want to keep people from knowing what they know. I think they're just trying to give you what they know in a manner that is easiest for you to, or easiest, or at least requires, you don't have to pay money to watch YouTube, but you would have to pay money to buy books and that sort of thing. And that's going to take a lot more time. But I think people want to put in the time, and I think people should be able to put in the time and read what people that know a lot of things about fiction, theology, politics, and that sort of thing. I think I think that's the answer. I don't think it's necessarily listening to them always about those topics, though that's plenty interesting. And if you need sort of help interpreting, I think that's very helpful. So yeah, I will be doing more book recommendations episodes. If you really like them, please share them. That would be very helpful. We really want to grow this channel. Tell your friends, tell anybody you think would be interested, and you know, we want this channel to grow. We want to get to 1,000 subscribers at least. That's the goal, because then YouTube will share this channel, and we want more people to see it. So yeah, yes, Ian Fleming. So I'll probably do an episode tomorrow, live streamed, probably around the same time, 11 a.m. my time, 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. So keep your eyes out for that, and we'll be doing that. Any other questions? If there's any other questions, I'll take them. And this is really great. I love getting sort of other ideas, and sort of know what people want me to do. Sometimes I'm stuck between different ideas, and I don't really know what to prioritize always, because I want to help you guys as much as I want to help uh as much as I want to talk, I guess. As much as I want to just monologue and give you guys my thoughts, I want to know what you guys want me to tell you about. And I think that's great. Oh yeah. So Mac, I woke up to listen to the Meaning of Catholics. I know we were both in the chat in the Meaning of Catholics morning show. I think that it's like 5 a.m. And I I listened to it, and then I went to sleep again. So that's yeah. So I really woke up later, like 9. So anyways, thank you all for watching. If there's anything else, send it before it's too late, but we're going to be wrapping up. I'll give you guys just a few moments to have the opportunity to ask any more questions. Mac and I are on the same page. So, thank you all for watching, and God bless. Have a good one.